Meditation. Universal order and human duty. In Book 7, Marcus continues wrestling with the Stoic idea of logos, the rational order of the universe. All things, he writes, are in a manner interwoven with one another, for things have been coordinated together. This reflects a core Stoic belief. The world operates as a rational, interconnected whole. Nothing happens by chance, even if we can't always see the reason. To Marcus, the universe is like a living organism. Each event, however small, fits into a larger natural system. So he tells himself, "Don't rail against fate. Let not future things disturb thee," he writes, "for thou wilt come to them, if it shall be necessary, having with thee the same reason which now thou usest." He also insists on self-sufficiency. He says, "A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others." Here, Marcus is rejecting dependence on the opinions or help of others for emotional stability. True strength comes from within. In Book 8, he sharpens this point. Be like the rock against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. This famous metaphor embodies Stoic resilience. Life's troubles, insults, griefs, failures will keep crashing, but the wise person holds steady. And yet, this steadiness is not cold detachment. Marcus stresses social duty. We are made for cooperation. He reminds himself that human beings are like limbs of a body created to work together. To withdraw from others out of anger or pride would be against nature. This contrast between inner independence and outer cooperation forms the backbone of the Stoic worldview. You're responsible for your own mind, but also part of a larger human family. Judgment, forgiveness, and impermanence. By Book 9, Marcus is returning often to the idea that it's not events themselves that harm us. It's our judgments about them. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. He urges himself to mentally strip things down to their essence. Praise, just empty clamor. Fame, a clacking of tongues. Death, a natural act. This stripping away of illusion becomes one of his most powerful tools. In modern terms, we might see this as emotional reframing or cognitive therapy. Catch your negative thought, question it, reframe it rationally. For Marcus, this isn't just stress management, it's the path to inner freedom. He also emphasizes forgiveness. When someone does wrong, consider what they believe is good or bad. If you see clearly, you will pity them, not be angry. This echoes his earlier view that people do wrong from ignorance, not malice. Instead of vengeance, he chooses understanding. By Book 10, mortality again takes center stage. He reminds himself, all things are ephemeral. The most lasting fame is but a breath. To crave legacy or recognition is, for Marcus, to chase wind. What matters is whether he lived with justice, discipline, and truth. He also tackles perfectionism. If someone can show me that what I think or do is not right, I will gladly change, he writes. I seek the truth, by which no one was ever harmed. For a Roman emperor, this is extraordinary humility, to hold his own beliefs lightly and adjust them when shown reason. Letting go and final peace. As we enter the final books, Marcus's reflections grow more stripped down, more eternal. In Book 11, he again underscores the power of thought. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In other words, we become what we dwell on. If we fill our minds with bitterness or complaint, that becomes our character. And yet, he warns against judging others. It is shameful, he says, for the soul to be first to give in, while the body is still enduring. Complaining, gossiping, envying. These are signs that the soul has given up its discipline. In Book 12, his final chapter, Marcus returns to the themes he's explored throughout Meditations: the shortness of life, the beauty of nature's order, and the freedom that comes from accepting it. Soon you will have forgotten all things, he writes, and soon all things will have forgotten you. This is not nihilism, it's liberation. If nothing lasts, then nothing, not slander, not failure, not even death, can truly harm you. He ends by urging himself to live each day as if it were his last. Each of us lives only in the present moment. The rest is either memory or imagination. This Stoic mindfulness, attention to the here and now, is the climax of the work. After hundreds of pages of discipline, reasoning, and reminders, Marcus leaves us with simplicity. Be present, do your duty, and accept the rest. Stoic themes. These closing books of Meditations deepen the key Stoic ideas from earlier. Marcus sharpens his belief in nature's order and the need to accept fate. He becomes more blunt about the uselessness of fame, the illusion of control, and the brevity of life. He stresses the idea that judgment, not events, causes suffering, and that reason can help us rewrite those judgments. He promotes self-forgiveness and patience with others, seeing wrongdoers as misguided rather than evil. The goal is not dominance or perfection, but equanimity, a calm, rational acceptance of life as it unfolds. His view of death, in particular, evolves. Rather than a tragic end, it becomes a release, a return to nature. It is not to be feared, but to be met with dignity. This is perhaps the most radical gift of Stoicism. It teaches not just how to live well, but how to die without fear. Conclusion. The final chapters of Meditations offer a mirror for our own age. In a world full of noise, online outrage, reputation anxiety, productivity pressure, Marcus's voice is a calm counterpoint. When he says, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about your neighbors," he is essentially warning against social media envy and doom scrolling. When he writes, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he anticipates modern psychology's focus on cognitive habits. We are constantly coloring our world with our interpretations, and Marcus urges us to choose clarity and reason. His rejection of fame and approval is especially resonant in the influencer age. "The best revenge," he says, "is not to be like your enemy." This is a message of non-retaliation and self-possession. You don't need to clap back. You need to stand firm. Even his reflections on death, that we will soon be forgotten, are strangely comforting. They help us put things in perspective. Our mistakes, our embarrassments, even our ambitions. What matters, he says, is whether you did what was right. No more, no less. For anyone seeking resilience, peace, or purpose, Meditations remains a peerless guide. Its language may be ancient, but its wisdom is timeless. Marcus Aurelius lived in a palace, commanded armies, and bore the title of Caesar. But in these pages, he speaks not as a ruler, but as a man trying, like all of us, to live well in a chaotic world.